What other areas of cognitive dissonance do you think that people are experiencing when it comes to Bitcoin?
Well, I think like I said, it has to touch every single institution, political party, way of life. If trade is between humans and we choose more value, and 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 the world's never looked like that, or it hasn't looked like that for a long time, it's then we live in a control system, and all of our isms, Marxism, communism, totalitarianism, capitalism, all of those are just different versions, uh, different versions of a control system to make you think you're on the right side of one. But capitalism, the way that we have capitalism today, capitalism can't exist how most people think it can exist with manipulated money. It just looks like crony capitalism. Free markets that people say they want free markets, they actually don't want free markets. They want free markets where they gain value, but nobody else can. They want controlled markets. And so they're voting all of their things, all of their actions are showing their own hypocrisy. Like name a Bitcoiner that isn't can't wait for all of the governments to print money. It's crazy. Like, and what are they saying? What are they saying? What are they saying? My asset's going to go up faster, right, than other assets, and this inflationary collapse is going to hurt everybody else. Where is if they allowed deflation from that, there was no printing, their asset would be just worth just as much. Just everything else would be fall to the floor. But so it's our own hypocrisy that we think we are the market. We're both sides, seller and buyer, and we think our houses can go up forever, and everything we purchase should come down forever.
Hmm.
So what I just described there, because it's so embedded in every single institution, decision we make, everything, it is us. It has to touch all of those things, has to touch everything, not just the economy, not just how we think about ourselves and our role in what the world looks like. It has to touch.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around that because most people focus on that price and exactly what you said, because when governments print money, Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up, and that is the focus. And I shared with you before that where I struggle a little bit is, yes, I still invest in the stock market. I understand that in retirement accounts, we invest in MicroStrategy and other vehicles. And so many people that I speak to also do. I want to get to the point where I can go all in on Bitcoin. That is my goal. I see people like you. I spoke to Mark van Versendaal, who's completely living on the Bitcoin standard, and they don't say it's easy, but much happier life. I feel that part of me invests in the stock market as a little bit of a hedge because I'm not an entrepreneur. If Bitcoin doesn't make it, there's that little bit of a hedge. And you mentioned it's just time. Do you think it's just time, or
Yeah.
is it going to?
So let me my own view of you. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So you're you're working in Bitcoin to help other people understand this. So to say that you're not in this, right, 100%, 95%, that would be like you're so far ahead of most. And you're probably seeing that abundance in your life expand, right, out of the very same thing. As you've moved more time, things get better. Um, it's not up to anyone to tell anyone else how much time they should spend. They should spend, the free market is a series of choices, and you should do whatever is right for you in your own risk portfolio. For me, I can only tell you what's right for me. Right? I can't tell you what's right for you, and for me to be able to understand this, I had to pick it apart at so many levels so that I understood what it was, what it really was. Um, and and then I felt, so when I first started in Bitcoin, I probably had a 2% allocation, right? Just like most people, okay, I'm going to buy it as a hedge. And then as I understood more and more, I realized it wasn't Bitcoin that had the risk. It was the other system that had the risk. And Bitcoin was anti-risk. It was the world I wanted to leave to my children. So I wanted to spend more time, and so it was a selfish reason for moving more time. And every time I moved more time and more energy into it, things improved. I got to spend my time around other people who were doing the same, and you could see that reflection um, everywhere. But that takes time for each person to come to. Um, and I don't know. I wouldn't want somebody to make a decision to go all in. So so I made a decision, but to make that decision, I also had to realize the risk of centralization and security. And then as I got comfortable, I went, wow, I actually fuel the thing I want. By spending my time in whichever system, I actually help create that system or don't. And so my time matters here, and I'm going to spend my time where I want to spend my time. But that was for where I am on that. That's a long stretch. So does somebody want to spend 10,000 hours trying to disprove this first? They might not, that might be too much of a first step. So you do the work, and first get yourself off zero, put into self-custody, understand that. Then how could you spend in it? How could you meet other people doing it? What's happening in this ecosystem? Then contribute more, perhaps give back in this by helping other people understand it. And that's a really great path. And if you want to have a little bit in the other system, because it feels like safety, then anybody's welcome to do whatever is right for them.